The choice of high dry matter silage or wet silage may depend on what suits your farm and your machinery. More than ever, it's the cost of complying with NRA legislation to control effluent and the need to increase silage quality whilst reducing concentrate costs, which are the deciding factors. The benefit of high dry matter in reducing effluent is well recognised, but there are several other advantages. Improved digestibility, healthier livestock, and reduced reliance on costly additives are just a few. The key to high dry matter silage making is speed. Rapid wilting is essential to avoid secondary fermentation and retain nutrients that can be lost where periods of field wilting are extended. Modern equipment, such as that produced by Claas, can achieve this objective, resulting in highly digestible silages, which tend to be consumed at a higher rate than wetter material and therefore result in improved animal performance. Whatever system you choose, Claas has the machinery that is affordable, dependable, and designed to complement each other in terms of operation and output, whatever the size of your farm. It's the widest range available from a single manufacturer, from a 5-foot 6-inch mower to a 500 horsepower forager. Well over 40 machines in all, so we're going to look at just a few that'll suit either system. Corto mowers with or without conditioners, Volto tedders, liner swathers, and Jaguar foragers. This combination of trailed and front-mounted Corto mower, both with conditioners, is making a big 19 feet cut, leaving 2 well-shaped conditioned swaths. It's the ideal contractor's machine, capable of outputs of up to 15 acres an hour, but you'll find that the strength of construction and the design of the mower's drums is similar throughout the range, from the smaller mounted machines to the larger trailed models. A combination of shafts and a short belt drive transfers the power from the tractor to the drums, which are bolted firmly to a massive crossbeam. The drives run in oil baths, have large bevel gear assemblies, and run well clear of the ground. There's plenty of room between the drums, so that in the heaviest crops, the mown grass can pass through in a constant stream. Cutting height varies according to model. On some models you'll find it at 28 millimeters, a little over an inch, but this can be increased to 40 or 60 millimeters by adding optional spacers and saucers. Other models feature a variable cutting height of between 28 and 50 millimeters. That's approximately 1 to 2 inches. With variable cutting height, adjustment is simply a matter of inserting this special tool to lock the drum and spinning the bottom saucer to increase or reduce the cutting height. The same tool is used when replacing the blades. Slip it over the blade, pull the lever up, remove and replace the blade in no time at all. There are just 3 double-sided blades on each drum. Conditioning the crop accelerates drying time, so most Claas mowers can be specified with a conditioner as standard. This front-mounted model has the latest generation full-width conditioning rotor set close behind the drums. The V-shaped metal tines are mounted on rubber blocks and shaped to follow the contours of the drums. Every blade of grass is picked up and intensively conditioned by the tines and the adjustable baffle plate. A clean cut and clean forage are guaranteed with the contour system exclusive to Claas front-mounted mowers. The patented headstock design allows the mower to float, following ground contours both in the direction of travel and side to side. Big trailed mowers cover the ground fast, but time can be lost on turns. The outstanding manoeuvrability of this 10-foot Claas mower is due to the swiveling headstock, which eliminates angles in the PTO in the tightest of turns. Hydraulic changeover from transport to work and vice versa is part of the standard equipment. At harvest time, you'll not make a better or faster start than with a Claas mower, and you can be sure that there's a model that's right for you, including disc mowers, to give you the widest possible choice. making hay or high dry matter silage, tedding has to be carried out quickly and the grass evenly distributed across the field for maximum forage quality and minimum wastage. Claas Volto tedders are designed for fast operation with a range of models compatible with the various mower widths, so making the right choice is important. As a general rule, Claas Volto tedders with 4 rotors work most efficiently, spreading 2 swaths from mowers up to 10 feet wide. The largest 6-rotor model will be at its best with 3 swaths. You won't find the transport width of any Volto exceeding 9 feet 10 inches, so even the largest machine can negotiate tight turns and gateways. The patented Claas CKL suspension system protects the machine in transport, absorbing the shocks of high-speed travel over rough tracks. With hydraulic folding standard on all models, it takes only seconds to be ready for work. Double universal joints on the outer rotors avoid the risk of damage should the drive be engaged in the folded position. Claas Volto tedders have a wide range of adjustments, so you can work in the heaviest or the lightest of crops. The spread angle can be set at either 13 degrees or for heavier crops at 16 degrees. Remove a bolt, spring clip, and reposition each of the wheels to change the angle. Each rotor has 6 tine arms, with the tine angle also adjustable, either 0 or 7 degrees to match different crop types. Once set up, this Model 740 HR, with its 24 feet 3 inch working width, is ready to cover 100 or more acres a day. Operating at speeds between 3 and 6 miles per hour, the spreads will be even, leading to a rapid wilt. The chances are that it will be ready for harvesting after rowing up the following day. That's half the time it would take to achieve the same dry matter levels if the crop had been left to wilt in the swath, so you save on harvesting time. To avoid spreading the crop beyond the headlands into the field boundary, Volto HR models have an in-cab facility to swivel the wheels hydraulically to the left or the right, so that the machine is angled and the crop is spread back into the field. 3-point mounting with a swivelling headstock allows the tedder to follow the tractor like a trailed machine when turning at headlands. When lifted, the tedder automatically returns and locks into the central position. In work, the patented CKL suspension takes the strain off the mounting linkage and also acts as a braking system to stop side-to-side drift on hillsides. It goes without saying that these machines are as easy to maintain as they are to use. Handled properly, they are capable of covering thousands of acres a season. To get the best out of your forager or baler, you'll now need a swather that presents the crop in a wide, well-shaped swath to match the width of the pickup. This is where Claas liner swathers come into the picture. They can create the ideal swath from grass that has been spread, put 2 or 3 swaths into one, or move 2 swaths onto fresh ground. And it'll be done smoothly, with little risk of contamination from soil or stones, as the tines brush across the surface, gently lifting and moving the grass, leaving unwanted material behind. The swathing operation may look simple, but behind it, highly sophisticated engineering is required to produce a range of machines that'll do the job properly. Let's look at 2 examples of Claas liner swathers. This Model 470 is a mounted single rotor machine with maximum working width of 15 feet. That means it's capable of putting 2 times 10 feet swaths into one, or moving 2 8-feet swaths onto fresh ground. In a tedded crop, it moves 15 feet of grass into a swath almost 6 feet wide, ideal for trailed foragers or round balers to pick up. The transport width of the machine comes down to less than 6 feet, with the tine arm stored neatly on top of the machine. Once in the field, slide them into position and secure with a spring clip. Set the height of the tine so that they lightly rake through the stubble, and you're ready to go. This model also has the Claas CKL suspension fitted to absorb shocks when it's held on the 3-point linkage. Back on the ground, the big 18-inch balloon tyres give a smooth ride, whilst the Claas Contour tandem axle design speeds the operation by following undulations. You can work faster without the rotor digging in, minimising contamination. The rotor has 13 tine arms with 4 twin tines per arm. Each arm is supported in the headstock on twin bearings spaced over a foot apart, so they can easily cope with the heavy loads applied to each of them. The headstock is at the heart of every liner. On the top range models, it's almost a metre in diameter, providing a firm foundation for the tine supports. The guide rollers are made from hardened high-tensile steel and run in a liquid grease bath. The unit is totally enclosed, sealed for life and entirely maintenance-free. It's just what you want if your business is large-scale forage harvesting and you plan to work long hours. If you're working ahead of a self-propelled forager like this Claas Jaguar 840, you'll need a big machine to satisfy its appetite. It'll easily harvest 100 acres a day, so the liner must do the same. So now's the time to bring on the big twin-rotor trailed machines. And they don't come any bigger than the Liner 780. With its working width hydraulically adjustable from 22 feet to almost 25 feet, it can row up 3 10-feet swaths into one, or nearly 25 feet of spread grass, so it's an essential part of any well-organized harvesting operation. Each rotor has 11 heavy-duty tine arms, detachable so the transport height can be reduced, and mounted on twin bearings in the same maintenance-free headstock we saw on the Liner 470. It also has Contour axles with the option of Contour Plus, a system that allows the wheels to pivot as well as swivel. So not only do you get clean raking, there's less wear and tear on the tyres and stubble by eliminating scrubbing when turning. The machine is attached to the tractor via the lower linkage. This simplified hitching system makes coupling easier and safer, enabling the machine to be levelled precisely from the tractor cab. Following the development of this hitch system, a variation of the Liner 780 has rear-wheel steering, so that as the tractor turns, the swather follows the same arc. Turning at headlands, the rotors are partially raised. A flow divider ensures even lifting, and double universal joints let you keep the drive engaged. You can even keep swathing with one rotor fully raised to clear a headland, avoid an obstruction, or for short work. Whatever model of liner fits in with your system, you can be sure that the gentle but intensive operation of the spring steel tines ensures clean collection of the crop. And like everything Claas, you'll know that they all have the strength for sustained high performance. In a world where contractors with high-capacity self-propelled machines appear to be part of the landscape, the trailed forager still has an important role to play. Many contracting businesses started with trailed Jaguars and still use them today. For the small to medium-sized farm with the right labour and machinery available, it means remaining independent, harvesting their own crops in their own time. The Claas Jaguar name is synonymous with trailed foragers, so let's look at two machines, one of which could be the final piece in your harvesting system. The Jaguar 51 is a medium-sized flywheel machine that'll harvest between 20 and 35 acres a day with a tractor of just 70 to 120 engine horsepower. See for yourself what a clean job that 5 feet 4 inch wide pickup does, collecting 15 feet of grass that's been rowed up with the Liner 470. From the pickup, it's fed by 2 feed rollers through the high-capacity intake, which, at 16 inches, is the widest in its class. The wider the intake, the greater the output potential, and the 51 comes very close to machines that cost half as much again. Then the huge, power-efficient flywheel gets to work. At 3 feet 7 inches in diameter and weighing 330 pounds, it stores plenty of power and has the inertia to overcome peak loads and maintain its maximum output. Should a blockage occur, the feed mechanism is simply reversed using the electronic remote control unit fitted in the tractor cab. The same unit also controls the chute and flap. Paddles on the flywheel blow the crop in a powerful stream into the trailer. Both vertical and horizontal extensions are available for larger trailers or for side loading. For front-loading trailers, Claas can supply their own hydraulic hitch or a hitch bogie for heavy trailers. The simplicity of the Jaguar's design has been carried through to the essential maintenance tasks so that adjustments and servicing can be carried out without too much time being lost. Blunt knives and a poorly adjusted shear bar consume power and reduce performance, so carrying out these daily tasks has been made as easy as possible. To sharpen the knives, just open this guard and turn in the rotary grindstone until it makes contact with the rotating flywheel. When the blades are sharp, stop the PTO, back off the grindstone, lower the guard, and turn the handle to clamp it in place. Adjusting the blades to the shear bar is just as easy. Open the main cover, turn the flywheel so that the catch is in the vertical position, and disengage it. Turn the flywheel anti-clockwise until the knives just touch the shear bar, then back it off to achieve the required setting. Re-engage the catch. The flywheel is fitted with 10 banks of segmented knives bolted through slotted holes. The benefit of these is that damage from foreign objects is minimized and localized, keeping repair costs down. This locking bar is used when tightening the knife bolts to prevent the flywheel turning. For winter maintenance of the shear bar, flywheel or smooth roll scraper, you first remove the pickup, then the feeder housing can be hinged forward after removing just 3 bolts. In a very short time you've complete access to all these major components. All bearings are mounted outside the housing clear of contamination. Standard chop lengths on the Jaguar 51 are 8 or 15 millimeters. Changing from one to the other means simply reversing these 2 sprockets. Put a Jaguar 51 to work in your crop and you can count on it being harvested on time, every time, with load after load of quality forage. Over 200 acres of first cut silage has been made with this power-efficient flywheel machine. And when you finish, the whole machine is raised hydraulically on its rear axles, well clear of the ground, to cope with humps and hollows in the roughest farm tracks. The Jaguar 75 is a very high-capacity forager that can be equipped in various ways to match your pocket or your harvesting operation. It's a true precision chop forager that, with a tractor of 100 to 175 engine horsepower, will harvest 40 to 60 acres of first-cut silage a day. There's a choice of pickup sizes, either 5 feet 9 inches or this 7 feet 3 inch attachment that will easily cope with 20 feet of grass. Both pickups come with the Claas roller crop press, which guarantees a smooth intake in all crops and gives a 5 to 10% output advantage. Where the Jaguar 75 scores is in the width of the feed intake. At 19 inches, it's wider than any flywheel forager. It's the size of the intake that gives it the potential to reach outputs achieved by self-propelled foragers, all of which have cylinders like the 75. With the metal detection option, ferrous metal objects are detected as they enter the front feed rollers. Instantly, the drive to the intake is disconnected, avoiding the risk of serious damage to the cylinder. To clear the obstruction, the driver reverses the feed by operating a switch on the cab-mounted control unit and then removes the unwanted object from the swath. This equipment gives a high percentage of protection, safeguarding both your equipment and your livestock. There's no doubt that the best forage comes from a precision chop machine. You'll get more in the trailer, therefore fewer trips to the clamp. More importantly, once the crop is in the clamp, you'll achieve better consolidation and fermentation. To achieve a precise chop, you need at least 4 feed rollers to compress and straighten the crop, so the cylinder can give a neat, clean cut with a minimum energy input. The 75 has all this and more. The large diameter cylinder with its 8 banks of segmented knives give you 8,800 cuts per minute, and being mounted at an angle, they slice through the crop, taking less power. The cylinder also has enormous blowing capacity, and because it has more inertia, uses less energy to drive it. Keeping those knives sharp and the shear bar accurately set is essential for a clean chop and to conserve power, so we've made these daily tasks as easy as possible. To sharpen the knives, the cylinder is driven at slow speed, whilst the grindstone is moved from side to side. The grindstone overlaps the cylinder, ensuring that the knives are sharpened across their full width. A unique feature to Claas, and one developed from the self-propelled range, is the excellent access to the cylinder and shear bar. It takes only a few minutes to loosen 2 clamps, one on either side, and by raising the pickup, the housing hinges open wide, giving a clear view of the segmented knives, shear bar, and the rear of the feed rollers. With 3 knives in each bank bolted through slotted holes, replacement has been made as convenient and economical as possible, should they become damaged by stones and metal. The shear bar has wear-resistant edges and is reversible. Setting the gap between it and the blades simply means slackening a locking bolt and turning an eccentric screw at each end. There's even a special tool to turn the cylinder so that the minimal gap can be set precisely and safely. Spend a few minutes each day on this essential maintenance and the payback will be tons of first-class forage harvested in record time. We've covered quite a bit of ground in this video, but by no means have we completed the story. Round bale silage is another system you might choose, in which case you should take a look at the Claas Roland baler, now available with the Roto-Cut crop slicing mechanism. The Roto-Cut packs up to 20% more crop into every bale. The result is fewer bales produced, saving on the cost of wrapping, transport and storage. More importantly, with these heavier, denser bales, forage quality is increased, and with round bales, effluent is less of a problem. For the professional contractor, Claas have set the standard for self-propelled foragers with their 800 range. No one else can match them for performance, reliability and economy. It'll come as no surprise that within a year or 2 of their introduction, they became the top-selling forager throughout Europe. You can see that as specialists, Claas are able to concentrate all of their huge resources into the development and production of cost-effective harvesting machinery. They can provide whatever it takes for the system of your choice, and by not cutting corners, Claas Engineering bears comparison with any alternative. Claas are the only manufacturer to have their own strategically placed harvest centres nationwide. Here you'll find expert advice, showrooms and sophisticated training facilities. Add to that the security of having the best service and parts backup in the business behind you, and your first stop for a mower, tedder, swather, baler or forager must be your nearest Claas dealer. Let him show you how to build a cost-effective forage system with the help of Claas, the harvesting specialist.